We are back to make the kids have a memorable Saturday. Yes, because whenever you listen to Melody Kids, there is this vibes, there is this, energy that you receive. Yes, because you are here to learn, you are here to have fun. So everything just works together. Everything works together well. Everything works together for good. Like I said, you're welcome. It's time for Melody Kids right here on Melody 100.7 FM with Auntie Fiyin. My studio manager is Adenike Adesoye, and also a very big shout out to my producer, Pretty the Finest Adegoke. Bobola is in charge of our Facebook live streaming. So head straight to our Facebook page right now to join our live, and you can just view Auntie Fiyin live and direct from the studio. You can see what I look like. Yes, at Melody 100.7 FM. Head straight to Facebook and view our live. You can also do well to follow us across all our social media pages at Melody 100.7 FM. I am Fiyinfoluwa Oladunjoye, the one and only radio diva, but the kids call me Auntie Fiyin. And yes, I am so excited to be back on air this morning. I hope you had an amazing week. I hope school was amazing. I hope you had fun, and I hope you didn't get beaten by your teacher, because children can be stubborn. You can be stubborn at times, and when they correct you, they show you love. So always take correction with love. Yes, we are already learning. That is how we do on Melody Kids. I'll be starting off the show this morning with a very quick, short story. So, story. It's not story time. Okay, should we say it's story time 1? Because, we normally have different segments on this program. And one of the segments is the storyline segment, where we get to, listen to interesting stories. Yes, interesting stories. And in case you are tuning in for the first time, this is Melody Kids once again on Melody 100.7 FM, the program that has been designed to educate, entertain, and engage the kids every Saturday morning. Yes, this is the kids' favorite, safe sports. This is where they learn. This is where they have fun. This is where they get to, do all those house chores every Saturday morning with joy and happiness, because they listen to Melody Kids while they do them. So, like I said, a program that is designed to educate, entertain, and engage the kids. It runs from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. So do not be a stranger anymore. Whenever it's 8 a.m. every Saturday morning, tune into Melody 100.7 FM to listen to Auntie Fiyin. So right now, I want you to, tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your cousin to tell another of your cousin. Tell your neighbors, tell your family to get a stool or get a mat, just like they do in the olden days, whereby the kids will sit on the mats and a old woman will be telling them stories, midnight tales, or better still, night tales. So you can also get a mat or get a stool so you can learn from Auntie Fiyin this morning. Like I said, I'm going to be starting off the show with a very quick, short story. So story. I know you're so excited to hear this story. I'm equally excited to tell you the story as well. Story. When I say story, you said story. Once upon a time, you say time. Okay. I was in basic 5 at that time. That time it was still primary. So I was in primary 5 at that time. So in school, my teacher gave me an assignment. I was not the only one that was given the assignment. The assignment was given to everybody in the class. A very serious project. It was more or less like a project, because you have to put some things together. It was a technical assignment. If you are familiar with a technical drawing, yes, technical drawing, you know how well you have to be focused, how dedicated you have to be whenever you are doing something like that. So I was given the assignment back then in school, and we were told to submit on Friday. I want you to be taking notes of the details of the story. I was given a very big and serious assignment, and I was told to submit on when? On Friday. Just follow me very well and listen attentively. So when I got home on Monday, I was like, oh, today is Monday now. There's still time. There's still time. Today is just Monday. I still have Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday. I felt like I had so many time. So I ignored the assignments. I didn't do it. When I got home on Tuesday evening, when I go back from school on Tuesday evening, I remembered that I had a very serious assignment to do. But then again, I still thought of it. Today is just Tuesday. I still have more time. I still have Wednesday and I still have Thursday. Oh, I have so many time. Why am I rushing? So I let it slide again. I abandoned the assignment. I kept it under my bed. I kept the assignment under my bed and I felt like I had so many time. Wednesday came again. I go back from school on Wednesday evening and I'm like, oh, I have one assignment to do. I have one serious assignment to do. And I'm like, oh, come to think of it, today is Wednesday now. Oh, I still have Thursday. I still have so many time. Let me just rest. And by the time I come on Thursday evening, I will give it my full attention. I will face the assignment and I will do it. So I thought I still had time and I still didn't do it on Wednesday evening. I still, shifted it to Thursday. And remember I told you it was a very serious assignment that requires my time, my attention, my energy, my brain and all of that. And I kept on shifting and shifting. I thought I was doing something good. Yes, to me then. The little me, you remember I said I was in primary 5 at that time. The little me thought I was doing something good. And then when it was Thursday evening, when I go back from school on Thursday evening, oh, my mother sent me on an errand. She sent me on an errand and I couldn't, reject it. I couldn't turn a request down. I had to attend to the errand she sent me. So I had to go and do what she asked me to do. And that took my time. A bit. It took about 2 hours from my time because I had to do so many things for her and I couldn't say no, because if I say no, you know how mothers do now. If I should say no, I'll be in serious soup. Hot pepper soup that day. So I had to just do the errand and I'm like, oh, I have one serious assignment to do. Okay, I still have time. By the time I get back from what I want to do for my mother, I would give the remaining time to my assignment and face it properly. By the time I was done with everything at night, I brought out the assignment. Remember I said the assignment was going to be due on Friday, meaning that I have to take the assignment back to school to my teacher for submission on Friday, and it was a very serious assignment. By that time, it was already too late. I was already tired, but I had to do it because I know the reward for anybody that misses our assignment. So I still had to do it, but I was seriously struggling. And guess what? I couldn't finish the assignment. Yes, I couldn't finish the assignment. It was so huge for me. The workload was so huge for me. And that was when I realized that I have made a mistake. What was the mistake I made? Procrastination. I was procrastinating. By the time I go back to school that day and I told my teacher, I had to be honest to her that, okay, I couldn't finish this assignment. I couldn't finish this assignment, and she was not even angry. That was to my surprise. She wasn't angry. She corrected me with love, and she said to me, what she said really stuck in my brain, and that is why I am putting it to you this morning. Remember I said I was in primary 5 at that time, and up till now, what she said is still ringing a bell in my head. Because I told her I had to explain everything that happened to her so as not to get beaten by her. Yes, because she was going to flog me seriously. So I had to tell her the truth. Then she said, mistakes are okay. I was really, my eyes were really opened at that time. She told me mistakes are okay, but only if you learn from them. Mistakes are okay, but only if you learn from them. I will keep it to that, because one of the things we'll be discussing on the show today is how you can learn from mistakes. So that is just a tip of the iceberg. Welcome to Melody Kids right here on Melody 100.7 FM, and it's been the voice of Fiyinfoluwa Oladunjoye, Auntie Fiyin. Right now, let's go on this short musical break, and I'll be back on the other side to dissect and to spell out the segments we'll be having on today's program. I am sure you enjoyed that story. I still have many more for you in store, so do not go anywhere. Call your friends, call your neighbors, tell them to come and listen to Melody Kids, and I will just be right back on the other side.
After all the money I spent for them in Zoro school, they still cannot read or write. Common spelling, they cannot spell anything. Even their names, please, I want to put them in famous kids club so they can know how to read and write.
Welcome back. It's still Melody Kids right here on Melody 100.7 FM with Auntie Fiyin. We are currently live on Facebook, so head straight to our Facebook page at Melody 100.7 FM. So view me live from the studios. You can also do well to follow us across all our social media pages at Melody 100.7 FM. We are on TikTok, we are on Instagram, we are on Twitter, and we are on Facebook. So do well to follow so you can get our updates as soon as we drop them. On today's program, we're going to be having 5 interesting segments. Whatever I bring on the program is definitely going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be amazing, and you have so much to learn from them. So I want you to give me your full attention. I want your undivided attention on the program today. The first segment on the show is the storyline segment. The storyline segment. I started off the show with a story, but that was my own personal experience. That was my personal story. And do not forget, I said the story is linked to our focus on today's program. But do not rush. Do not rush. Yes, don't rush. You will still get to understand everything properly. So the first segment is the storyline segment, and the title of today's story is The Wise Monkey. The Wise Monkey. The Wise Monkey. Can a monkey be wise? How did the monkey behave, the act of being wise? You are going to hear all that by the time you listen to the story. And the second segment is the Kids Say segment, which we normally, derive our focus on the program. And the topic for this Kids Say segment today is learning from our mistakes. Learning from our mistakes. Can you now see the synergy? Can you now see the connection? This has to do with the story that I narrated to you at the beginning of the show. Yes, so do well to listen and pay attention, because you have so many things. You have so many things to learn on the show today. So the Kids Say segment, which is titled Learning from Our Mistakes. That is the second segment on the show today. And the third segment is the Fun Fact segment. Fun Fact segment. That is the Did You Know segment. That is where you get to learn. Yes, because learning is just one constant thing. Learning is one constant thing on the show. And nobody is an island of knowledge. We all keep learning. Most especially for you as a child, as a kid, you need to learn. You need to, incorporate yourself so many ideas. You need to have ideas about so many things. You need to have a knowledge of everything. Yes, you don't want to be out of the trend. Yes, you want to know everything that is happening around you. You want to know everything that is happening around you. So that is what the Fun Fact segment stands for. Did you know? And then the fourth segment is the riddles and jokes. Yes, that is the entertainment part. Yes, it's part of the entertainment segment of the show, the riddles and jokes. And I have 2 riddles for you today and 1 very funny joke. I have 2 riddles and 1 very funny joke for you on the show today. The last but not the least is the poem segment, and the title for the poem is My Shadow. Yes, the title for the poem is My Shadow. Right about now, we'll be going to listen to our package. Yes, I have already arranged it very well for you. I have already, arranged it suitably for your learning. So right now, let's go and listen to our package, and I'll be right back on the other side. But one instruction I'll be giving before I go is that make sure you pay good attention. Make sure you give me your undivided attention on the program today, because that segment has so many things for you to learn from. Now, let's go and listen, and I'll be back on the other side. Do not go anywhere. We are just getting started. And of course, it is Melody Kids right here on Melody 100.7 FM with Auntie Fiyin. I'll be right back after we listen to this package.
Equals and bananas. I like to eat apples and bananas. I like to eat apples and bananas.
Jungle, kittens, lamb, moon, nest, orange, pig, quack, rainbow, star, train, under the video, whale, xylophone, yo-yo, zebra.
Storyland, it's story time. Hello kids, my name is Gazi Otono. The title of my story is The Wise Monkey. Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Lillian. She was known for being very impulsive and always making quick decisions without thinking about them first. One day, she was walking in the park and saw a beautiful butterfly fluttering around. She was so excited to catch it that she started chasing it without thinking. As she was running, she didn't notice the rock on the ground and tripped over it. She fell and scraped tiny badly. She realized that if she had thought about the result of her actions, she wouldn't have gotten hurt. Lillian went on feeling sad and regretful. She knew that she needed to learn how to make better decisions. Her mother noticed how down she was and asked her what was wrong. Lillian explained what had happened and how she wished she had thought before chasing the butterfly. Her mother sat her down and told her a story about a wise old monkey who lived in the forest. The monkey was known for being very careful and always thinking before making any decisions. One day, a group of animals came to the monkey for advice. They were having a dispute and couldn't agree on what to do. The monkey listened carefully to both sides of the story and thought about it for a long time. Finally, he gave them some advice that satisfied both parties and resolved the dispute. The animals were impressed by how wise the monkey was and asked him how he was able to make such a good decision. The monkey replied, "I take my time and think carefully before I make any decisions. This helps me to make the best decision possible. Miriam listened to the story carefully and realized that she needed to be more like the wise old monkey. From that day on, Miriam started to practice thinking carefully before making any decisions. The moral of the story is that it's important to think carefully before making any decisions.
Hello kids, my name is Gulam Otono. Today on the Kids Say segment, we are going to be talking about learning from a mistake. Learning from our mistakes is a very important part of growing up. It is natural to make mistakes, but what is important is how we learn from them and use that knowledge to improve ourselves. Making mistakes can be discouraging, but it is important to remember that everyone makes mistakes and that is how we learn and grow. Imagine if we never made mistakes, we would never learn anything new or improve ourselves. Making mistakes helps us to understand what we need to work on and what we can do better next time. When we make a mistake, it is important to take responsibility for it and learn from it. Instead of getting upset or blaming others, we should focus on what we can do to make it right. We should ask ourselves what we did wrong and what we could do differently next time. This will help us to avoid making the same mistake again. Learning from our mistakes helps us to become better people. It helps us to become more resilient, more adaptable, and more confident. So next time you make a mistake, remember that it is okay and it is an opportunity to learn and grow.
One mistake I made and I've learned from is that my mother told me to stay with my little brother. So I went outside to play with my friend. So as my brother was playing, he mistakenly slipped and broke his arm. From that day on, I learned that I should not disobey my mother and I should pay more attention to my brother.
When I was playing, I slipped, and now I learned that I should never play rough again. I should be more careful.
The mistake that I made that I learned from is that one day my auntie gave me 300 naira to go and buy bread, and I was busy playing on the road. Then I mistakenly lost the money. And since that day, I learned that whenever my sister gave me money to go and buy something, I should always be careful with the money.
When I was writing in school, I made a mistake. So when I go back to school, I will be more careful in writing. Also, when I was playing, I fell down and injured. So when next I'm going to go and play again, I will be more careful.
Hi kids, my name is Ebokorechu Agabaolaja. I have some fun facts to share with you. Did you know that bats are the only mammals that fly? Did you know that a jellyfish is 95% water? Did you know that crocodiles are colorblind? Did you know that frogs don't usually swallow water? They absorb most of the moisture they need through their skin. Did you know that dragonflies have 6 legs but can't walk?
I am a continent that has one country. What am I? Australia. I am an object. I am the fastest and best artist. What am I? Camera.
Dr. Sati Jr., your parents reported you to me that you always urinate on your bed every night. What do you think you benefit if you keep urinating on the bed? Junior answered, I have the chance of winning a Nobel Peace Prize. I'm not research a crime, Sati, my shadow. I have a little shadow that goes in the house with me, and what can be the use of him? It's more than I can see. He's very, very like me, from the shoes up to the head. I can see him just before me when I jump into my bed. The funniest thing about him is the way he likes to grow, just as all proper children, which is always very slow. For sometimes she's up taller, like an Indian rubber ball. For sometimes gets so little that there is none of him at all. He hasn't got a notion of how children ought to play, and can only make a fool of me in every sort of way. I think shame to stick to nothing, as that shadow sticks to me. One morning every early, before the sun was up, I rose and found a shining dew on every buttercup. But my lazy little shadow, like an ever sleepy head, I stayed at home beside me and was fast asleep in bed.
Why, that's the prettiest tree I ever did see. There was a home.
There was a home.
In the middle of the ground.
There was a There was a program, Melody Kids. Yes, you're welcome back. It's still Melody Kids right here on Melody 100.7 FM with your favorite radio auntie, Auntie Fiyin. I hope you listened attentively to the package that was just played for you. Yes, I hope you picked out every single point and every single lesson from it. Now we are going to be forging straight to our focus on today's program, which is learning from our mistakes. And that was taken from the Kids Say segment today. Now, there are some practical tips I'm going to give you concerning the topic, about that topic, which is titled learning from our mistakes. And the first one is that it is okay to make mistakes. I hope you're getting my point. It is okay, it is fine to make mistake. Making a mistake doesn't make you a bad child. Making a mistake doesn't make you less of yourself. Making a mistake doesn't mean you are a dullard. Making a mistake doesn't mean you are dull or you don't know what you are doing. Yes, it is okay, it is normal to make mistakes. Now, the second lesson is that do not be afraid to admit your mistake. Do not be afraid to admit your mistake. You know, I first started off by saying that it is okay to make mistakes. That is, if you make a mistake, don't feel too bad about it. Of course, we are human and we can feel bad, but do not feel too bad. And now the second point is that don't be afraid to admit your mistake. Oh, you did something that is wrong, but the ignorance, the arrogant part of you do not want to admit to that wrong. You do not want to admit that, okay, you did not do this right. Remember last week I talked about pride. I talked about pride last week, and I explained that part of the attitude of being pride is when you do something wrong and you do not want to admit to it. But that is not, what we are discussing on the program today. Today we are talking about learning from our mistakes, and I said it is okay to make mistakes and do not be afraid to admit your mistake. In fact, that is the first step. That is the first step that you should do after making a mistake. First of all, admit that, okay, I made this mistake. I did this wrong. When you see the wrong in what you have done, that is when you'll be able to learn from it. But when you do not, acknowledge your wrong, when you do not acknowledge your mistake, it may be difficult for you to learn from it. You may not even learn from it, to be honest. Yes. Now, the third point is that ask yourself. I want you to ask yourself this question. Whenever you make a mistake, I want you to ask yourself this question: what can I learn from it? I narrated a story to you at the beginning of the show whereby I procrastinated doing my homework till it was too late for me to finish up with it. What did I learn from that mistake? I learned that I should not procrastinate. I should not procrastinate whatever I want to do. Procrastination is a thief of time. Yes. Procrastination is a thief of time, and it will not only rob you of the time, it will rob you of the task. It will rob you of what you are supposed to do. You are not going to do what you are meant to do, and again the time has wasted. So that is one lesson that I learned when I made that mistake back then. I learned that I shouldn't procrastinate. I should do whatever I want to do at the right time, and I should do it quickly. Now, after asking yourself what you can learn from the mistake, then what are you going to do again? You are going to give it another chance. Yes, you are going to give it another chance. Because you have already learned from the mistake. You have already known that, okay, I did this wrongly. I shouldn't have done this. I should have done this. You have already learned from it. You have already embraced your mistake. You have already embraced it. And when you embrace it, definitely there is something for you to learn from, so that you will not make the mistake again, so that the mistake will not repeat itself again. So you would try again. You would never give up. Giving up is never an option. Melody Kids, what did I say? Giving up is never an option. Giving up is never an option over here. So we keep trying and trying. You keep trying and trying. Now that you know what you are doing wrong, you try again and you give it your best shot this time around. And the next thing I would like to tell you on the program today is that be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Do not be too hard on yourself. Whenever you make a mistake, do not speak too ill of yourself. Do not speak bad things to yourself. Do not say things like, oh, I am a bad person. Oh, I can never do this. No. You should encourage yourself. Encourage yourself to do better the next time. Now that you are aware of what you are doing wrong, let's say you are being taught a particular topic in mathematics and you do not understand. You got 5/10 in the classwork that was given to you by your teacher. After the correction has been done in class, I want you to go back to your notes and go through your classwork and go through your correction, and I want you to point out the part where you make the mistake. Probably you are supposed to multiply and you added. Probably you are supposed to subtract and you divided it. Now I want you to focus on that part where you make mistake and learn from it. By the time you pay very good attention to your mistake, it will be hard for you to make the same mistake next time, because you have learned from it, you have admitted it, and you have embraced the mistake, and now you will be able to perform very much better the next time you are doing that same task or that same work. I would love to hear from you this morning. I would love to hear your mistakes this morning, because like I said, it is normal. Even adults, even grown-ups make mistakes. Nobody is too old to make mistakes. Nobody is too old to make mistakes. Yes. So the numbers you can call on today's program is 0702 520 107, 0702 520 107, or you call 0705 507 107. What I want you to tell me is the mistakes you have made before and how you learned from it. Tell me the mistakes that you have made before and how you learned from it. 0702 520 107, 0702 520 107, or you call 0705 507 107. Tell me that mistake that you have made in the past and what you learned from it. 0702 520 107, or you call 0705 507 107. Do not forget, I told you it is normal, it is okay to make mistakes. Nobody knows it all. And also, mistakes helps you to learn. Yes, mistake helps you to grow. It helps you to learn and it helps you to grow. Once again, you can call on 0702 520 107, or you call 0705 507 107. It is okay to make mistakes. It is okay to make mistakes. Mistake is not a bad, thing to happen to someone. It is okay to make mistake. I'll be going on a short musical break because also we learn and we have fun on Melody Kids. So let's go. Oh, I have a call. Hello.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning to you. Your name and where you are calling from?
My name is Elani Daniel, and I'm calling from
Daniel, you're my first caller on the show today. Your age and your class?
I'm 12 years old and I'm in GS2.
Wow. Clap for yourself, Daniel. Good. I can hear the sound of that. Now, I want you to tell me one mistake that you have made in the past and what you learned from that mistake. Hello, Daniel. Are you there?
Yeah, ma'am.
So, I want you to tell me one mistake that you have made in the past and what you learned from it.
I have plenty mistakes, but that's what I'm thinking of now.
What did you say?
I said I have plenty mistakes that I've made.
That is very that is very, very okay. Like I said, it is okay to make mistake, but I would really love to hear one of them because I also want to learn from your experience.
We had a test.
Okay.
And my teacher said that we should read well.
Okay.
Because the test, she told us that it might be tough.
Okay.
That she will read well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'd already forgot about the test that we were going to have.
Okay.
So, when I got to school, we did the test. I was very, very surprised.
Wow.
But I read in the morning when my classmates were already telling me that we had tests.
Okay.
I was just revising.
Okay.
And that's how the teacher entered and we did the test. But I did not get high scores.
Wow.
So my experience was that my mistake was that I have to be reading well because in GS2 that I must be focusing.
I love that. Clap for yourself once again, Daniel. Thank you so much. And I hope you have learned from that mistake, right? You have learned that you should read often. So when it is time for tests or exam, you will be fully ready and you are going to give it your best and you are going to come out with flying colors. Thank you so much for calling on the show today. Thank you. It was so good to hear from you. Wow. I loved Daniel's experience. And I'm glad he was able to pick a lesson from the mistake he made. So I also want every kid listening to me right now to, learn from Daniel's story. Whenever it is not even until, I used to say something on this program. Do not wait until it is time for tests. Do not wait until it is time for tests or exam before you start reading. Start reading as soon as your teacher starts teaching you in school. School resumed, late last month, and you should have started reading by now. Do not wait until all the notes have been piled up and now it is now too bulky for you to read. It may be difficult for you to catch up when it's time for test or exam. A call just dropped. Do well to call back. Even though I may not have so much time on the show again, I only have the chance to pick one more call. So any lucky person can call in now. Yes, consider yourself lucky because you're going to be my last caller on the show for today. So do not forget, always admit your mistake, because it is when you admit your mistake, that is when you learn from them. You wouldn't learn from it if you do not acknowledge it. If you do not acknowledge your mistake, you would never learn from it. Thank you so much for tuning in to Melody Kids right here on Melody 100.7 FM today. Apologies to those who were trying to call in, but the network was a bit, somehow this morning. And special thanks to the person that called in, Daniel. Special thanks to you for calling in. It was nice hearing from you. Special thanks to every single person that listened and joined us on today's program. Adenike Adesoye is my studio manager for this time, and she's holding it well over there. Bobola is the one that is in charge of our Facebook live streaming, is the one that is making it possible for you to view me live from the studios of Melody 100.7 FM. Special shout out to my producer, Pretty the Finest Adegoke. Thank you so much, sir. And also to the management, Mr. Eniola Afolabi, the general manager at Melody 100.7 FM. Thank you for all that you do for us over here. And I am Fiyinfoluwa Oladunjoye. And I am saying my BYE on the show today. We will return next week with another fantastic episode. We will return next week with so many things you can learn from. Do not tune it away from Melody 100.7 FM because we still have so many things in pack for you today. Owambe Ladbo Melody is coming up right after this program. So do not go away. We still have so many things you can learn from. All right. It's time to go. It is time to go. See you next week and thank you for listening.